Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for today's session on Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatha Jayam Udiret Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Today we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto first, chapter 11, chapter 15, shloka number 11. We try to understand shloka number 11. Yaha na jugopavan et duranta kruchrata
यह न जुगोप वन एत्य दुरंत कृच्छ्रात
durvasasah ari achitayuta agrabhuga yaha
दुर्वाससः अरिरचितात युत अग्रभूगयः
शाकांड अशिष्टम उपपूज्य यतः त्रिलोकीम
शाकाननशिष्टम् उपयुज्य यः त्रिलोकीम्
तृप्ताम अमंस्तः सलिले विनिमग्न संगः
तृप्ताम् अमंस्तः सलिले विनिमग्न असंगः
यहाँ नः जुगोपवन एत्य दुरंत कृच्छ्रात
यह न जुगोप वन एत्य दुरंत कृच्छ्राद
दुर्वासस अरिरचित रचित अयुत अग्रभूक यः
दुर्वाससः अरिरचितात अयुत अग्रभोगयः
शाक अन्न शिष्टम उपपूज्य उपयुज्य यतः त्रिलोकीम
शाकान अन्नशिष्टम् उपयुज्य यतः त्रिलोकीम्
तृप्त तृप्ताम अमस्त सलिले विनिमग्न संग
तृप्ताम् अमंस्तसलिले विनिमग्न संगः
यः न जुगोपवनेत्य दुरंत कृच्छ्रात दुर्वासस अरिरचितात अयुतग्रभूक यः शाकान् अशिष्टम उपयुज्य यत त्रिलोकीम तृप्ताम अमस्त सलिले विनिमग्न संगः.
यह
हरे
न
कृष्णा.
जुगोपवन एत्य दुरंत कृच्छ्राद दुर्वाससः अरिरचितात अयुत अग्रभूगयः शाकान् अन्नशिष्टम् उपयुज्य यतः त्रिलोकीम् तृप्ताम् अमंस्तसलिले विनिमग्न संगः.
हरे कृष्णा. रिया माताजी, can you read?
माताजी, yes माताजी. यो नो
हरे
युगोप पवन इति दुरंत कृच्छ्राद दुर्वासस सोरि रचिताद अयुतग्रभुव्य सकन शिष्टम उपयोजितना यतस त्रिलोक्यम तृप्तम अमंस्त सलीले विनिमग्न संघ.
आशीष प्रभु जी. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. During our exile, Durvāsā Muni, who eats with his 10,000 disciples, intrigued with our enemies to put us in dangerous trouble. At that time, he, Lord Krishna, simply by accepting the remnants of food, saved us. By his accepting food. Thus, the assembly of munis, while bathing in the river, felt sumptuously fed, and all three words were also satisfied. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Durvāsā Muni, a powerful mystic Brahmana, determined to observe the principles of religion with great vows and under strict austerities, is name is associated with many historical events, and it appears that the great mystic could be both easily satisfied and easily annoyed, like Lord Shiva. When he was satisfied, he could do tremendous good to the servitor, but if he was dissatisfied, he could bring about the greatest calamity. Kumari Kunti, at her father's house, used to minister all kinds of services to all great Brahmanas, and being satisfied with her good reception, Durvāsā Muni benedicted her with the power to call any gods she desired. It is understood that he was a plenary incarnation of Lord Shiva, and thus could be either easily satisfied or annoyed. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and by Lord Shiva's order, he accepted the priesthood of King Shvetaketu because of the king's performance of sacrifice for 100 years. Sometimes he used to visit the parliamentary assembly of heavenly kingdom of Indradev. He could travel in space by his great mystic powers, and it is understood that he traveled a great distance through space, even up to the Vaikuntha planet beyond material space. He traveled all these long distances within 1 year. During his quarrel with King Amrish, the great devotee and emperor of the world, he had about 10,000 disciples, and wherever he visited and become a guest of the great Kshatriya king, he used to accompanied by a number of followers. Once he visited the house of Duryodhana, the enemy cousin of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Duryodhana was intelligent enough to satisfy the Brahmana by all means, and the great Rishi wanted to give some benediction to Duryodhana. Duryodhana knew mystic powers, and he knew also that the mystic Brahmana, if dissatisfied, could cause some havoc, and thus he designed to engage the Brahmana to show his wrath upon his enemy cousin, the Pandavas. When the Rishi wanted to award some benediction to Duryodhana, the latter wished that he should visit the house of Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was the eldest and chief among all his cousins. But by his request, he would go to him after he had finished his meals with his queen, Draupadi. Duryodhana knew that after Draupadi's dinner, it would be impossible for Maharaj Yudhishthir to receive such a large number of Brahmana guests, and thus the Rishi would be annoyed and would create some trouble for his cousin Maharaj Yudhishthir. That was the plan of Duryodhana. Durvasa Muni agreed to this proposal, and he approached the king is in exile according to the plan of Duryodhana. After the king and Draupadi had finished their meals, on his arrival at the door of Maharaj Yudhishthir, he was at once well received, and the king requested him to finish his noontime religious rites in the river, for by that time the foodstuff would be prepared. Durvasa Muni, along with his large number of disciples, went to take a bath in the river, and Maharaj Yudhishthir was in great anxiety about the guests. As long as Draupadi had not taken her meals, food could be served to any number of guests. But the Rishi, by the plan of Duryodhana, reached there after Draupadi had finished her meals. When the devotees are put into difficulty, they have an opportunity to recollect the Lord with rapt attention. So Draupadi was thinking of Lord Krishna in that dangerous position, and the all-pervading Lord could at once know the dangerous position of his devotees. He therefore came there on the scene and asked Draupadi to give whatever food she might have in her stock. On her being so requested by the Lord, Draupadi was sorrowful because the Supreme Lord asked her for some food, and she was unable to supply it at that time. She said to the Lord that she mysterious dish which she had received from the sun god could supply any amount of food if she herself had not eaten. But on the day she had already taken her meals, and thus they were in danger. by expressing her difficulties, she began to cry before the Lord as only a woman could do in such a position. The Lord, however, asked Draupadi to bring up the cooking pot to set if there was any particular foodstuffs left. And on Draupadi's doing so, the Lord found some particle of vegetables sticking to the pot. The Lord at once picked it up and ate it. After doing so, the Lord asked Draupadi to call her guests, the company of Durvāsā. Bhima was sent to call them from the river. Bhim said, "Why are you delaying, sir? Come on, the food is ready for you." But the Brahmanas, because of the Lord Krishna's accepting a little particle of food, felt sumptuously fed even while they were in the water. They thought that since Maharaj Yudhishthir must have prepared many valuable dishes for them, and since they were not hungry and could not eat, the king would feel very sorry. So it was better not to go there. Thus they decided to go away. This incident proves that the Lord is the greatest mystic and therefore he is known as Yogeshwar. Another instruction is that every householder must offer food to the Lord. And the result will be that everyone, even a company of guests numbering 10,000, will be satisfied because of the Lord's being satisfied. That is the way of devotional service. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Sri Yuttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitancha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वांछा कल्पतरुभे च कृपा सिंधुभे एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण जय श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna. This slok describe about the Durvāsā. How was Durvāsā Muni, and how the devotees devotional service, which is the way of the devotional service. Two important points described in this shloka. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Jnanatimirandhasya.
So, Krishna says, Ananya chintayantah mam ye janha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So this is what Krishna says in verse number 22 of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is saying, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna is assuring undoubtedly that if a devotee approaches the Lord, then he will take care of everything. He'll ensure that he is never put to any problem. And not only here, even in the 8th chapter, 14th verse, Krishna had said, Ananya chetaha satatam yo mam smarati nityasha tasya aham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. This is exactly what Krishna actually proved in this particular episode, where Arjuna is remembering and telling his elder brother, Maharaj Yudhishthir, of how Krishna has always been protecting them. And how whatever they are is only because of Krishna. So, Mataji has already read from the purport. Well, Prabhupada has made it very clear how Durvāsā Muni was always accompanied by 10,000 disciples, and he always used to eat with them. And somehow he was intrigued with the enemies and wanted to put Pandavas in a dangerous trouble. And this happened when the Pandavas were in exile. But then Krishna saved them simply by accepting the remnants of the food. Because by his acceptance of this food, all the assembly of the munis, while they were actually bathing in the river, felt sumptuously fed. Not only that, three lokaha, all the three worlds were satisfied. So this verse is highlighting three important aspects. One, Krishna's role as the supreme protector of his devotees. Two, the power of Krishna's mercy, even through simple acts. And three, the illusory nature of material distress. Because when the Lord is present, all problems vanish. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in this particular verse, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So in this particular verse, Krishna has saved all the Pandavas. And Prabhupada ji in the purport is telling us exactly how they were saved. We also know how Draupadi had got that magic vessel, which is Annamrit, I will say, wherein she could create and create food as much as she wanted. But
Akshay Patra.
Akshay Patra, only till the time that she has not eaten. And how Krishna, because of his Yogeshwar nature, did that mystic power usage and saved the Pandavas. So here, the very first lesson for us is Krishna protects his devotees. As we read right now, where Krishna has always said that he will preserve whatever they have. Yogakshemam vahamiyaham. And this incident exactly proves that Lord is not requiring any wealth, strength, resources to protect his devotees. A single grain was enough to satisfy the whole world. And he will do and go to any extent to protect his devotees. When we go to the 9th chapter of Bhagavatam, 9th canto of Bhagavatam in 24th chapter, which is about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we have a very, very beautiful verse, 57 number verse. Nahi asya janmana hetu karmana va mahipate atma maya vineshasya parasya drushtu atmana. So he's saying, O King Parikshit Maharaj, but for the Lord's personal desire, there is no cause for his appearance, disappearance, or activities. As the super soul, he knows everything. Consequently, there is no cause that affects him, not even the results of fruitive activities. So whatever we do, if we are giving it to Krishna, he ensures that he takes it, but he has no results to bear. But what we get in return is the activity done without results. So our karma bank balance, karma phala bank balance always remains zero. In Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter also, in the 11th shloka, Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridadeshu Arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra arudhani maya. So Krishna is saying that he is a Paramatma, he is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are as if sitting on a machine made of material energy. But then when we have surrendered to Krishna, when we have depended upon Krishna, then we need not worry, just like Draupadi. And this is not the first and the last time that Draupadi is being protected. See, another name for Draupadi is Krishna, because she is the devotee of Krishna. And you remember, as we were discussing today also, today in the morning, yesterday, wherein we saw how Arjuna was remembering Draupadi being insulted in the royal assembly. What she did is, she completely fell on the lotus feet of Krishna and had eyes in her lotus, had tears in her lotus eyes, and fully surrendered. She remembered Krishna. Krishna protected her and vowed that the miscreants and all the party of the miscreants who dare to touch the hair of my devotee, none of their wives will be able to tie the hairs. And that is the cause why all the Kuruputras were killed, so that their wives as widows could never tie their hair. And Krishna is always ready to protect. In 10th canto again we will see in 25th chapter where Krishna says, Tasman acharnam goshtam matnatha mat parigraham gopaye tva atma yogena sah ayam me vratahitah. I must therefore protect the coward community by my transcendental potency, for I am their shelter, I am their master, and indeed they are my own family. After all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. Me vratah abhi athah. This is what Krishna is saying, that he has taken vratah of protecting the devotees. And that is why he always protects everyone. Because here, if you see in this verse, Sharanam Graha Rakshitra. So Sharanam can represent either home or protector. And here, if you see the episode where Krishna is saying this, it becomes amply clear that he is referring to the protection that he is always eager to extend to all his devotees. And that's not the end. Let us come to Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Clearly saying, ma shuchah, do not fear. What more guarantee do we need of the eternal protection that Krishna promises that he will always give to his devotees? That is what this episode had proven. Secondly, we understand Krishna's mercy extends to the entire universe. Like when Krishna took one just small mortal, the entire three worlds were satisfied. Now the problem in front of Draupadi or the Pandavas was Rishi along with his 10,000 disciples. But when Krishna eats, he satisfied the whole world. So this shows that Krishna is the ultimate source of satisfaction. When he is pleased, the whole creation is pleased. And that is why the objective of devotees is not to get something for self. It is always to please Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. We want to use all our senses to serve the master of the senses, which is Lord Shri Krishna. And that is exactly what we understand, the third part, that dependence on the Lord is the highest intelligence. Now Draupadi, she could have panicked, tried to arrange food by cooking, doing this, doing that. But instead, she turned to Krishna in full surrender. And Krishna's presence alone solves all problems. This reinforces the importance of devotional service. Many times we get questioned, Krishna was there in Dwapar Yuga. What about us, Prabhuji, today? We are surrounded by so many demons. What do we do? But we should not forget that Krishna is available even now. Krishna Nama Krishna Avtara. The holy name of the Lord is the incarnation of the Lord himself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that exactly is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga. Hare Nam, eva kevalam kalu nasti eva nasti eva gatiranta. Why only Hare Nam? Vigraha Avtar. Krishna arranges to come in the form of the Vigrahas in the temple, Vigrahas in our residence, so that we can exchange loving service to them. Guru Krishna nahi anya. Our spiritual master is Krishna himself. He is representing Krishna. And Krishna is also there with us in the form of Paramatma, our Chaitya Guru. So Krishna is there. We just need to satisfy Krishna and we will get the satisfaction in return. We have to depend on Krishna. As Krishna has ordered us in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. And that is what Draupadi did. Draupadi does, and always Krishna protects. Because as we saw yesterday, and again the fourth point in today's shloka is the temporary nature of material strength. Durvāsā Muni was a powerful yogi. And if he had cursed, then the Pandavas could have been destroyed completely. Despite their own strength, Durvāsā Muni could not overpower Krishna's divine intervention. So no amount of mystic power, intelligence, material arrangements can stand against Krishna's will. So you have to surrender to Krishna and accept Krishna. The challenges we face in life are tests of faith. Just like Pandavas faced repeated hardships, devotees will also face difficulties. The key is to call upon Krishna with faith. Because material strength is insignificant. Wealth, intelligence, skills, nothing. If we rely on them, the result is going to be failure. Krishna alone is the true source of security. So surrender to Krishna only can bring immediate relief. So let us not try to solve problems independently. If we pray and depend on Krishna, he provides solutions even beyond our imagination. And so it is only the bhakti which can satisfy the soul. Just like Krishna satisfied the three worlds. So true happiness comes not from materialism, but from pleasing Krishna. So Krishna never abandons. Even in the most difficult situation, he protects, guides, provides. Let us remember Krishna, seek his shelter, and trust in his divine arrangements. By practicing, hearing, chanting, remembering, we can also experience his protection and satisfaction in our own lives. Hare Krishna.